TYT Sports, everybody. Jason Rubin here with Jeremy Rucker. Talk about some NFL Sunday action. We hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And the Thanksgiving holiday, enter the holiday season gift to football fans in Cleveland was Johnny Football entering the game, and for one drive looked like the hero that he was drafted to be. And it was an immaculate drive. I think it was, that's a very choicey word right there. But he was, I think, 4 for 5. He ran in the touchdown from 12 yards out.
Nice touchdown scramble, yeah.
He actually threw the ball like an NFL quarterback, not like a college quarterback. And he's obviously been itching. And of course, the money signs go up. And then, one series later,
it didn't turn out quite as well. Took a snap. Unforeseen circumstances, maybe. Wasn't expecting it, hit him, then he picked it up and tried to throw it, and that didn't work out too well. Next thing you know, ball's in the end zone.
He tried to make something out of nothing, and then he tried to make nothing into something not really bad, and then he made something not really bad into the worst possible thing.
He made nothing into something really bad.
He made nothing into the worst possible result that could have happened.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
Look, I like Johnny Football.
I know.
I'm not a Johnny Football hater. I really liked when he was connecting with Mike Evans back on Texas A&M. But I don't think it was the right call to take out Brian Hoyer, who has been pretty good this season. And yes, he had 2 interceptions at that point, and he wasn't completing too many of his passes, and he didn't look that good. But he also wasn't out of the game. At 20-3, you know, you're putting Johnny Football for the 1 quarter. Why don't you trust Brian Hoyer?
That's a great question. The call was a little shocking to me. I was excited to see Johnny Football in the game. Do some football
me too,
magic,
and it was great. And of course,
a little less football magic.
Twitter explodes with it too.
But to answer your question, I don't know why he won the game. That's 20-3. What was it? 8 minutes left.
There was like 12, 13 minutes left. There was almost a full quarter when Johnny Manziel came in.
Brian Hoyer, he's got you 7 wins this year, right?
Yeah.
7-5.
Trust your quarterback.
Without Josh Gordon most of the year.
Now he's
trust your quarterback. Yeah, exactly. It's the Bills. Like
right.
You can come back.
Against
things can happen. I think it was a desperate move to try to jumpstart their team because they needed this.
Yes.
They're still in the hunt for the AFC North. Surprisingly enough.
Surprising.
They're playing a Bills team who, by all accounts, is not that good this year.
No.
They needed this win.
No.
They didn't get it. They panicked. They went to Johnny Football. Johnny Football panicked, and now Brian Football is back in the driver's seat, I guess.
Right. So I'm curious to see if Johnny Manziel starts. To me, there was only 2 reasons, or only 1 reason to bring in Johnny Football in that situation. If they were getting blown out 45-3, or it was a game that they couldn't come back. If they were down by 4 scores.
When you draft someone like that, when you draft a Johnny Manziel or a Tim Tebow, the second your team starts doing anything that's not winning, even if you are 7-5 and it's the middle of a game, you have that option. You have that option. You have that thought in the back of your head of maybe we should give this guy a shot. And that's why I always hesitate to draft players like this if you don't have a long-term plan for him, because it gives Hoyer something else to think about. Mm-hmm. It makes fans anxious, and then it gives the coaches probably more options than they need.
I agree 100% with that. The only other point I need to mention about Johnny Football, they weren't at home. And that to me would be the reason that would be the reason to put in Johnny Manziel. But down 20-3, trust Brian Hoyer. He's gotten you, like you just mentioned, 7 wins thus far. 7 wins. He's played past his potential. He's played past what everybody expected him to play as. And the Browns, now at 7-5, are actually in last in their division because the Bengals, who are 8-3-1, I don't believe in the Bengals, by the way. The Ravens, who I actually think are a decent team, and Joe Flacco has been better than what I anticipated him to be, but not worth the millions of dollars he's making. And the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-5, who now I'm confused by because sometimes they look great and all their weapons are moving with Le'Veon Bell.
They're the most confusing team in the AFC.
They are this division. No, the AFC North is the most confusing division.
It really is. The AFC North and the NFC North are both full of teams that waffle between overliving expectations and then changing expectations, and then not living up to these new expectations while other teams do the exact opposite. It's very hard to predict.
This whole season.
Very upsetting from a betting perspective and just an analysis perspective.
From the betting perspective, this has been the most nightmare season for, I mean,
it's great. For fans, it's great, though. You want to see the uncertainty. You want to see the upset, so to speak. You want to see the parity in the league. Except the NFC South. You want to see a little less parity than that.
I mentioned this last week in a clip for TYT Sports, and I'm going to bring it up again. Because I think the Super Bowl this year is paved by whoever has home field advantage. And I know that's like, oh, what a boring prediction.
Coming from a Giants fan, nonetheless.
Right. And it's a very boring prediction.
Right.
But I think teams on the road are not safe this season more so than ever before. We've seen trap games. We've seen, who lost? I mean, we've seen Kansas City, lose at home?
Kansas City lost to Oakland.
Nobody
loses to Oakland.
And then, I mean, so far the Packers go blow out their opponents 100,000 to nothing in the first half in their home games. That's an exaggeration, just so you know, guys. And they go to Minnesota and struggle to beat the Minnesota Vikings and struggle to take that loosely. But I keep looking at this and I keep going, the playoffs are going to be paved by home teams. And I would be surprised because this has been the most unpredictable NFL season. But the elite teams, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Packers, am I missing somebody from the NFC? Maybe the Cardinals and the Seahawks, and they're coming back.
Talk about a division that's hard to predict.
Right.
The NFC West.
The NFC West. All these divisions are a complete effing smorgasbord of different teams and records, and it's going to be an amazing end to the NFL season.
The only division that has any sort of consistency is the AFC East.
Yes.
Which has been the case for the last,
25 years.
10, 15 years.
Our
Besides
lifetime.
that one
yeah,
season,
last 10 years.
One season when Brady missed the whole year, and they still went 10-6 but didn't make the playoffs. I think the Patriots have got the division.
Matt Castle was their quarterback?
Yeah, Castle was their quarterback, had a pretty decent year, signed that contract with Kansas City.
Right.
We found out how terrible that idea was, and that was that.
Right. So Johnny Football played football today. Brian Football was benched. Do you guys think that Johnny Football should be starting next week, or do you think you should be trusting Brian Hoyer?
How often do you think Johnny Football should play football? Is the real question.
I like that. How often should Johnny Football play football? Leave your comments in the section below. Leave your thoughts. I know we didn't talk too much about the Browns and the game itself today, but don't forget there's links to that funny play that Johnny Football ran and the drive that he made. There was good week, bad week for Johnny Football all on the same day. Show us your money signs in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to TYT Sports.